Good evening, sir.
Hi, Sarath. How are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks.
Thank you.
Madhulika, are you there?
Yes.
Hello, sir. Welcome. Good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Yeah, Madhulika, please start.
Sure. Thank you. Good evening, sir. And good evening, everyone. This is Madhulika Sinha. I'm from Eduinx. I'm the student from Eduinx, batch 2025. Currently, I am working as
Madhulika, you're unmute.
now it's audible.
Yeah, it's audible.
Yeah, thank you. So, Arun sir follows a truly inspiring portfolio career path within over 12 years of experience in product management. He has worked with some of the most respected organizations, including Microsoft, Ola, McKinsey, UiPath, and Bajaj Finance Group. Currently, he leads technical product management at Smash, focusing on communication governance solution. Beyond the industry, Arun sir is deeply committed to academia and the knowledge sharing. He serves as a visiting professor for product management and UX at prestigious institutes such as IIM Kolkata, IIM Bangalore, IIM Tikki, and IIM Kochikodu, among several other leading B schools. What makes his journey even more remarkable is the diversity of interest. He delivers insightful lectures on the Mahabharata, is a semi-professional guitarist and play a key role in shaping the future of product management in the India as a part of core team at NASCOM Deep Tech, and where he leads initiative to strengthen industry academia collaboration. We are truly honored to have him with us today and looking forward to learning from his rich experience and perspective. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Arun sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Madhulika and Gurumurthy, and thank you everyone for joining. Thank you very much for the Eduinx team for arranging this today. I hope I'm audible to everyone. And as we get started, first, let me get a quick sense of the the profile of the attendees here, right? So let's take a look at the probably the usual suspects. How many here are from the BFSI, banking and financial services and insurance industries? Could you raise your hand? You could use the tool, the raise hand tool in the Zoom meeting. Okay, I see 4 people who have raised their hands from and said they're working in the BFSI industry. Um, do you work with products in the BFSI industry?
Yes, sir. In a way, we are doing that.
Could you explain a little more, please?
Yeah, I work for JP Morgan. I'm a learning
Okay.
lead over there. So
Mhm.
as a part of my role, I do deliver some classes for KYC. In KYC, we have so many products that we are supposed to develop on a regular basis, and we need
Mhm.
to review those contents on a regular basis. So I do take care of those projects. So each and every learning is a product for all of us.
Got it. Got it. How about Kalyani? Okay, not sure if she's available. So, or let's move on to the next industry. Everyone can put their hands down. How many here are from?
Hi, I'm Kalyani.
Hey, Kalyani, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I have worked as an investment banker like for 8 years.
Mm-hmm. And
So my
do you work with products as well? When I say products, I mean software products, that is mobile apps and websites.
yeah, few of them like my applications were PAM, which I mostly used.
Okay, did you design and deliver them as well?
No, but initially in my initial career, I collected the data requirements, and then we, with the help of the technical team, we designed e-reconciliation for the reconciliation purpose of our team.
Got it. Got it. Thank you. Just moving on to the next industry. How many here from manufacturing? Hi, is there anyone here from the manufacturing industry? No, I'm fairly surprised. Okay, I was expecting at least some hands to go up when it comes to manufacturing. That then brings a question. Then what other industries are people in? Anyone from pharmaceuticals?
Yes, sir. I'm from pharma background.
Hi, Pratiksha. Okay, and which company do you work for and what do you do there?
I work for Ajanta Pharmaceuticals, and I my role is for in quality control department as an
Okay,
analyst.
okay, and okay. So Kalyani, probably could you lower the hand from the tool, please? And the others, anyone from the tech industry? How many people are either in developers or QA engineers or DevOps engineers or so on? Okay, I see a few more hands go up there. So it looks like the vast majority is from other industries, which I'm probably not able to put my finger on. So, so from this, maybe Samita, could you let us know your role and company and what you do there?
Yeah, so hey, hi everyone. So I work in Accenture as a Scrum Master for one of the insurance domain,
Mm-hmm.
and there are there are a couple of products which are going. Working on the execution part. The Scrum Master for the development team, BA, QA, and SA team, basically.
Got it. Got it. So curious about the others. Could you just drop a note probably in the chat telling me which industry you work in?
Hi, Mr. Arun. So I'm Sukumar. So I work for Red Hat, which is IBM Group companies. I'm into a sales purely, not into a product management as such, but from the learning aspect of it, overall I manage India and South Asia. So it's purely from the customer facing for the enterprise and the governments as well.
Got it. And you said you're planning to transition to a product management role. Did I hear that correctly?
That's my transition ambition as of now, and Eduinx is helping out for that.
Got it. Very nice. So, how about the others?
Hi, Arun. So this is Amit Shukla. Hello, everyone. Good evening. So I have a technical and product manager role, and I work for Prolifix before that Genpact and 24/7 AI. So as a ETL developer, I have started my career. Then I have completed PMP certification, then moved into project manager role, where I used to take care as a project manager and service delivery manager. I work for the service-based company which is IBM related and multiple technologies. So like Java and cloud, AWS cloud. So for that, I worked as a service delivery manager.
Got it. Got it. So any of the others, because I probably saw about 10 hands in total.
Yeah, hi. Hi,
Yes,
Vignesh,
hi.
Arun. So basically,
Hi,
my
Bhavin.
name is Bhanu Sisodia, and I'm working for telecom industry. So
Okay,
right now, I'm taking care of project management role for, deployment of 5G and messaging nodes in my 1 year.
got it. And is that a lot of high-tech hardware deployment as well, or is it primarily software?
No. Right now, it's in. Basically, previously we were used to deploy the hardwares. Right now, it's basically cloud technology is there, so hardware is the less now.
Got it. Got it.
Mm.
And are you looking to transition into a software product management role as well?
Yeah, in telecommunication, same profile with telecom or IT. It's both work for me as a
Got it.
product manager.
Got
Yeah.
it. Got it. So, question to a lot of folks, to everyone out here who's probably more curious about product management or is trying to transition into a product management role. Have you worked with product managers, and if you have you asked them what they do? What does a product manager do? Have you asked them?
Ideally, hi Arun. Ideally,
Hi.
sometimes product managers work as product owners as well. So
Mhm.
basically, they prioritize the backlog and uh, uh, fill up the sprint board. They help in that one and give whatever sprint goals are achieved. They review that one. But in actual, the higher hierarchy where the actual product managers come in, where those people have the visions and the problems, solutions they are finding out, that exposure is not there.
That exposure. Okay, you are not having
Ha.
exposure to those.
You
Okay.
usually they call themselves as TPM, okay, technical product
Okay.
managers, but
Okay.
their role actually is like a TPO. They work as
Got it.
product owners.
Got it. Got it. So then, as you said, in the strategic levels, anyone who's worked with product managers, as Mohammed Sultan also mentioned, what do you think they do? Have you tried asking them?
Hi, this is Sudhakar. Actually, in my perspective, what I see from my product managers doing is so whenever we plan for any new product, so we do have a certain milestones that we achieve. So product manager would coordinate with it's not exactly like a scrum master, but he always aligned to unblock on every single function area so that we all team up, and at any given point of time we have the most prominent MVPs ready to just kick off a minimum viable product. Yeah. So actually I'm from graphics domain, so I do work with AMD into
Okay.
graphics driver qualification. I'm a test architect here.
Got it. So if I put whatever you said in a nutshell, they basically just jump from meeting to meeting.
Yeah, of course, yes.
Sorry to
They
interrupt.
collaborate, actually, they collaborate and coordinate with all the departments who are involved in creation of product, might be technology and operations. They understand the needs of the department where the product is necessary. Then they coordinate with the technology where exactly the product can be developed. So they work as a bridge in between and ensure that the product is delivered on time with right quality. That's what I understand.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, I second
Yes,
that.
Amit, you want to say something?
No, I agree with Sharat because I got an opportunity to work with the owner. So as a delivery manager, they will be taking care of a particular customer. Where they will be having multiple departments where they have to take care. And also
Right.
the more important thing they have to do is what I have observed when they were working with the customer, they have to come up with the new ideas how they can enhance the customers what do you call the visions and how they can grow in the new technology. For example, migrations and upgrades are more important. They will take care of this and they'll segregate that into different departments where PMs like me or service delivery manager, they will be segregated into different departments to take care of the work, and then that report will be shared with the delivery or product owner, and then they will pass on that information to the client. These are the milestones which we have achieved as per your plan. So mostly what I have observed is they will enhance the customer's outcome for the daily use or daily purpose for outcome, the daily consumers are what I'll say. For example, we used to work for a shopping site for UK, which is Monsoon. So our delivery manager, he used to take care of each and everything what new we can create and we can serve them, because I said we worked on service based organization. So what new technologies we can implement and how their budget and cost will be reduced and they can achieve the new milestones, that all will be taken care by the product owner.
But isn't what you just said essentially falling under different departments? So, for example, the budgeting and costing should be the CFO, the marketing or the communication to the customer saying, "Hey, we have released a new feature. Please go try it out." Should be the marketing team's department. So, what exactly is this person doing?
So all these departments will be taken care by the product owner or product manager, what you will say,
So
because
they are
they have to
they are playing
gather
a
the
glue role. They are playing a glue role.
Yeah, they are the key role player, I'll say, between the customers and the internal team.
Okay. So why does the glue need to exist? Why can't the departments talk to each other?
See, not every time each department will be able to understand the customer in one go. So you need a person who can understand the requirements and share that information within the team so that the smooth transition will be taken care of.
So that a smooth transition will be taken care of.
Like
Okay.
why we need Scrum Master, why we need Agile Coach, why we need PMO. So every
No.
function has a uniqueness, correct? Yeah.
Right, but what Amit just described is that this function is not unique. It's a glue role. It is taking information from one department and passing it to the other department.
Yeah, it's a bridge between external customers to the internal team.
What is the customer support manager doing then? Isn't that the bridge between external customers and the internal team?
See, the requirements needs to be understand. It depends on whether it is B2C or B2B. It also depends on the size. Is the organization is represented in multiple markets. So it all depends on, based on that, the stakeholders vary. So the product owners or product managers generally discuss with external parties, technical, functional, and then they collect the requirements and they will translate that to understandable format for the internal teams. I make a pause here.
Hi, Arun. Adding
Yes,
few
go ahead.
points related to product manager. See, ideally, product manager should be concentrating on the customers' work pain points, or might be sometimes customer also is not aware of what pain they are going through. The product manager should be able to identify their points and try to provide a solution so that either their business is optimized in any way, whatever the pain points are there, they need to
Got it.
identify the solution for their problems.
First they need to identify the problem, right, before they come to the solution to the problem. So yes, fully agree there, and that is probably where the product manager adds the most core value, which is customer need identification. Now, what I'm trying to say is, in any complex ecosystem, business and the world is definitely a very complex ecosystem. There are a lot of forces that act simultaneously and they influence each other, right? That can cause a continuum of outcomes, that can cause several outcomes. Now, as humans, whenever we are faced with such a situation where there is a continuum, we tend to just cut that up into various pieces for our own understanding. There's not necessarily a natural order in how we cut it up. We just cut it up for our own ease and convenience, and then we start bucketing any any data points that we find into some of these buckets. So a typical example is colors, right? The rainbow has millions of colors. We arbitrarily place some barriers or some bucket. We create artificial buckets out of it and give those various names like red, green, blue, yellow, and so on, right? But those don't really exist. It's a full continuum. This causes weird kinds of problems. So, one, you and I may not be doing the bucketing the same way, right? We might be choosing different points or different kinds of buckets, right? Then hence when we are faced with a particular color or a particular data point in this continuum of values, we might not classify them the same way, right? I'm sure if everyone sees a bright red and a bright green color, we'll be able to name that, hey, this is red, this is green. But we do tend to get confused at the borders of colors. So, for example, if you have this aqua or turquoise kind of color, which is at the border of green and blue, many people find it hard, and I'm sure everyone does, find it hard to accurately classify whether it is green or blue, right? And this is again dependent on what are the tools that you use to describe the continuum, right? What do I mean by that? Let's stick with the example of colors and then I'll go to some more. There are certain tribes in Africa where there are different words for light green and dark green, right? For them, light green and dark green are different colors, as different as blue and green are for us. So if you show them a certain color, certain shade of green, they will classify it as either their word for light green and dark green, and for them, those two are entirely different colors. But they do not have a word for blue. Blue has to fit into one of the greens, right? So if you show them a blue, they will just make a call, an instinct-based call like we make when we look at cyan or turquoise or aqua or teal or whatever, which is somewhere on the border of blue and green, and they'll just classify it as one of those, right? Another example is the Eskimos. The Eskimos have 6 words for white. They have 6 kinds of white because they see a lot of white around them, right? So what we would consider, off-white or pearl white or egg white or this, that or stuff, for us, all of those are shades of white. For them, they are entirely different colors. You cannot call it's as different as, say, blue and red as is for us, right? Now, what do I mean by that? If we, depending on the vocabulary and the tools that we have to describe a situation, that determines how we diagnose and evaluate that situation, right? Let's take the example of Tata Nano as a car, right? The Tata Nano famously launched several years ago. Tata Motors tried for several years, but it was unable to make it successful. What is the most common reason given for this? Why was the Tata Nano not very successful?
Cheapest car, sentiment, it hurts sentiment of people.
Okay,
Instead
anything
of
else?
the word affordable, they used cheapest
No,
word. If you
if
use
I'm
affordable,
I'm sorry, if I'm not wrong, Arun, it was not accepted by the customer because of the look. It says like it looked like an auto, so that's the reason the everything went down. And Tata Nano, after being so good with the quality and safety and all those things, but still people compare it with the autos, which three-wheeler vehicles, which is more used in India. That's the reason it has a downfall.
Got it. Any other thoughts? That's a different thought, and I'm not sure. I'll just explore that. Any other thoughts from anyone? I heard a couple of people saying that it was perceived as cheap.
Yes, sir.
Yes, hi Deepak.
Hi, sir. Actually, the Indian believes that car is like some kind of like luxurious kind of thing. The car, Nano told that this car belongs to like middle class, like low category, and that's the reason I think it got a downfall, because Indian people believe that car is like some kind of luxurious or there some exposure kind of thing. So most probably I think that is the reason.
Okay, so Amit said it's about aesthetics. I'm not sure that's the case. It very well could be, but there are a lot of other ugly cars out there, right? Including some of the very, very popular ones, like say an Innova. No offense to anyone who does drive an Innova, but those are not particularly pretty looking, right? They are very functional, they are comfortable, they are good for what they do, right? The most common reason, and so it might well be a possibility, Amit, I'm not denying it. It's not, but as you probably heard from this group itself, the the story that is typically told is that a car for a typical family is an aspirational product, and Tata Motors goofed up by calling it a cheap car. The Tata Nano is a cheap car, implying that, hey, you're poor, you can't afford anything else, hence go for the cheapest thing that you can find. And that did not sit really well with the people's aspirations who were moving up from, say, a cycle or a two-wheeler, a scooter, to trying to get their first car. And they did not want to be labeled as cheap and be seen driving a cheap car, right? So possibly if they had named it something like your starter car, or this is your first car, after you get it, after a few years you can upgrade to a bigger car or a better car, maybe it would have worked. But be that as it may, we can only make hypothesis at this point, right? So the common narrative is that it's a marketing failure, right? Tata failed to get its message across clearly in a way that is acceptable to the customers. It failed to brand the Tata Nano in the correct way. Now, why am I saying this and relating it to our previous conversation about a continuum? Business is always complex, right? When we take these B school functions, or even the functions in a company, just as easy lenses to try and analyze a complex problem. So we say, hey, this is a marketing problem, this is a finance problem, this is an HR problem, this is a supply chain problem, this is a something else, risk and operations problem, or a compliance problem, and so on, right? These are easy buckets for us to use, shortcuts for us to use to be able to analyze a given situation or a problem. But that doesn't mean that the continuum does not exist, right? In the Tata Nano's case, there would have been problems in HR, there would have been problems in finance, there would have been problems in delivery, engineering, whatever. We just find the easiest lens that we can, which is marketing in this case, and say, and hit it saying that, hey, marketing is the problem. Now, what that does is it ignores all the other kinds of problems and tightly narrows your focus into this one lens that you've picked, right? So, as an example, say you're taking a test and you can score anything from 0 to 100, right? What is the difference between scoring 34 and 35 on the test?
Basically, 35 is the pass
percentage, just you are over the line.
Right? So we arbitrarily put a barrier, or we cut the entire continuum of 0 to 100 up at some random point. It's totally yeah, it is random. So we put a point and say, hey, between 34 and 35 we'll make two divisions, and we put them into categories. Anytime we categorize, this bucket is pass, that bucket is fail, and so on, you have a situation where you're effectively saying there is no difference between 0 and 34. There is a huge difference between 34 and 35. And there's no difference between 35 and 99. Right? As far as the categories are concerned. Which is not true. 34 and 35 are much closer than 35 and 99. Or 34 and 0. But because we had to arbitrarily make categories somewhere, we end up in this situation. That means whenever you have a continuum of problems, our brain tends to overemphasize small differences and underemphasize large differences, because we have to neatly categorize them into some buckets, right? Now, how does this all relate to product management? Product management is another lens by which you analyze a business or a problem or a customer and so on, right? We can look at certain things and say, hey, is this a HR problem, finance problem, or is this a product design, product strategy problem, right? Again, there are various factors at play with each other. This is one convenient lens that we take to apply and to analyze a problem. Let me now show you. In fact, let me just take another minute. Right. I'm going to turn my video off so that I can share my screen. Let me know once you can see it, please.
Yes, we can see that.
Right.
We
So
can
you
see
see
the
a grid.
screen.
Yes, you see a grid with some letters, right? What do you think is the next letter?
G. Is it
Sorry.
G?
Is it G? G. Why is it
G.
G?
The pattern says that like Q R H E F G.
E F G. G is already on screen though.
Okay. Acha, this side.
Any other thoughts?
Yeah.
A. Why A, Nagaraj?
Target.
Sorry, target. But there is an H and an F and a V and whatnot, right? And someone else, Kshitija. Yes, go ahead, Kshitija.
I said I, but I'm figuring out why did I say I. One sec, I checked
Go
something.
ahead. Take your time. But and Nagaraj, why target? Why can't it be, I don't know, maybe fight? So you need an I there. Or fighter. So let me give you a hint. You've seen this at least um, 200 times this week.
You're talking about the word or letter?
The letter.
Letter.
Yeah. You've seen this. I'll just say this pattern at least 200 times this week. Sorry?
It should be B, I guess.
Okay, why?
It shows on mobile keypad that way.
It shows on what shows on mobile keypad that way?
ERT,
And then
FGH, VBN.
absolutely, right? So you're
That's
one of the very
nice.
few. So you're one of the very few people in any cohort who gets Srikanth. So you deserve a pat on the back. So yes, this is your keyboard, right? I'm sure you're watching from some kind of device. If you look at a keyboard, it's ERT, FGH, ZXC, VB, NM, right? The point is, if I had presented to you with 3 letters per row, ERT, FGS, then there is no question. You would immediately get it, right? The fact that it is presented, it's not really jumbled, it's just presented differently, throws you off track. And we hear everything from target to whatever else, fighter and so on, right? Now, the problems in real life also need not necessarily come to you the way that you're used to seeing them, right? If the problems that you experience in business, even if you have seen this thing hundreds of times earlier, the 101st time that you see it, it might come up in a different form. You know the solution very, very well, like the back of your hand, but you can't recognize that that's the problem that you're trying to solve, right? And hence you may fumble, right? With that, let me just go to some this entire talk was about how to differentiate between good and bad products. So there's a lot of theory and a lot of frameworks that go into making that when it comes to software products, but I'll take an example of a physical product and let's see how that works out. Just give me a second. Oh, yes. Okay. So we'll take a look at how product management thinking was successfully applied for the Delhi Metro. Anyone here from Delhi or NCR? Okay, Madhulika, and anyone else?
Yeah, I am from NCR.
Bhanu's from NCR. Okay, so either of you. Okay, have you used the Delhi Metro?
Yes.
You have, and do you like it, Bhanu?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, why do you like it?
Sir, it's
Basic.
time saving and it's work continuously and without stopping or wasting time in crowds. That's why.
Have you? So how many here are? A lot of the cities in India now have metro projects running. So how many of I saw that at least two people here are from Delhi. There may be others, and how many are sick of people from Delhi continuously claiming that the Delhi metro is the best metro in India and possibly the world? Why do you think they say that?
Because of the complexity and the lines they have introduced.
Because of the complexity. So a complicated solution doesn't necessarily make things better, right? Linux is very complicated. That doesn't make it better.
Arun, you are comparing world also, meaning London Metro, Singapore Metro.
Let's stick to India. I mean, it is actually it's actually good enough to compete with the world, but I'm sure, say, Paris Metro and maybe Singapore Metro and stuff are probably better, right?
Maybe it is well connected.
Yeah,
It is
convenience.
Well
so
connected.
Time
Okay,
saving.
so
Basically, most of the people's jobs are surviving due to the metro.
so hold on this way. So I'm comparing that to the other cities in
Okay.
India, right? So time saving is common across any metro, right? Whether it is Mumbai Metro, Bangalore Metro, Chennai Metro, whatever, Hyderabad Metro, all metros will run on time, and all of them are designed so that they'll take 1.5 minutes per kilometer or whatever, and the stations are every 1.5 kilometers.
Connectivity
So
between the these as of now.
connectivity in this. So Shirija said convenience. What do you mean by that?
Yeah.
Yeah, same. So moving on to Delhi, NCR is a big place, not like Mumbai. And the area is spread across. So you have multiple.
Mumbai is huge.
No, but
But
it's not
anyway.
spread across like Delhi.
Yeah.
So probably
Right.
it's getting connected to each and every point, be it airport or be it any popular places. So I feel connectivity is taken care.
Connectivity is taken care. Okay. Any other thoughts?
And I have not traveled in Delhi Metro, so I won't be able to comment much.
Okay. Any other thoughts from anyone else who may not be from Delhi, but have you used the Delhi Metro?
I don't know. I think so. The most differences what I have seen in Delhi and Hyderabad Metro is the user friendly, because it is very easy to use, and you will be able to get the information clearly compared to Hyderabad. I have traveled in Delhi Metro and Hyderabad Metro. So that's what
Information about?
information about the routes where you are going to and how you have to be, and also the difference what I have seen is not every station is how can I frame that? In Hyderabad, you can see the distance. You don't have many people to guide you. But in Delhi, I have seen, because it was my first time.
So
I've seen people
navigability.
are guiding there.
Navigability, I mean, that is
Yes.
a function of people. That's something outside of the metro's design. But suppose you have maps and stuff everywhere. So you're saying navigability. Navigability is in general fairly easy though. All you need is map. You need to stick maps or metro routes in every station, multiple of them on every pillar and so on. That's easily solved. And Google Maps, in fact, does a fairly good job of that. You can use Google Maps to get the route anywhere. You'll get that. But I'll go with what Bhanu and prior to that Kshitija said. So let's see, who is this?
Sridhar Metro Man.
What's his name?
Sridhar.
Sorry? Your voice
Sridhar.
is
He's
Sridharan.
known as Sridhar.
Yes. So this is Padma Vibhushan Dr. E. Sridharan, who was the managing director of DMRCL when it first started, right? Now, when it started, I think this was in the early 2000s, and I'm not trying to make a political statement here. It's just the facts that are there. So early 2000s, probably during Vajpayee time or whatever at the time. So the prime minister at the time called Dr. Sridharan and said, "Hey, we're appointing you as the chairman of Delhi Metro Rail Limited. We want to build a metro. Go build it." So Dr. Sridharan asks, "Why do you want to build it?" So the prime minister replies that, "Hey, the Delhi was very congested at that time. There was an insane amount of traffic. The roads were very congested." So he says, "Hey, even in private companies, many of you are working, most of you are working in private companies. If you ask the senior leadership team, hey, what exactly is the point of such and such a project or whatever, they usually don't have very clear answers. They'll give you some hand wavy answers. In the case of something as amorphous as the government, you can imagine it's much worse, right? So when Dr. Sridharan asked, what is the objective of this? Why are we building this? He got a hand wavy answer, something like, hey, we are trying to build an affordable public transport solution for poor people so that we can decongest Delhi, right? So the initial problem statement from the government was, we want to ease traffic congestion in Delhi by providing affordable transport for the poor. Okay. So Dr. Sridharan goes back to his desk, does some research, and then comes back to the Prime Minister and says, hey, are you sure your objective is to decongest Delhi, right? If that is the case, then the problem or the deliverable that you're giving me is not the right one. The solution that you're asking me to build will not solve the problem. Why? Think about it. What is it that causes traffic jams, that causes the traffic congestion? It's these huge personal cars, right? It's these huge SUVs that people drive where there is just one person sitting in the big car, and that is what is choking up the roads. It is not the buses. Rich people are driving the SUVs and are taking up road space. The poor people are actually very space efficient. They are going in the buses. So, if you build a solution that will take the poor people out of the bus and put them into the solution, that will not solve your problem of congestion. Your congestion will still stay on the road, right? So he went back to the Prime Minister and asked, are you sure you want to ease congestion? Is that the goal? So after the investigation, essentially found out what is it that causes traffic congestion? Huge personal cars, not buses. What is causing the traffic congestion? Rich people, not the poor people, right? So this is what a typical traffic jam looks like. It's just full of cars and there's not a single bus inside. And compare from that situation, you want to move to the situation on the right, where there is a metro rail and the roads are relatively empty. There is an auto going the wrong way, but that's their birthright, right? They'll do that in every city. So anyway, but that's the kind of situation that you want to get to. Now, how will this work given the insight that we got in the previous slide? To get to this state and actually decongest the roads, you need to build a solution for rich people. You
थोड़ा
need
थोड़ा
to
आवाज कम करो ना यार.
Hey Amit, you might want to mute. Yeah.
Sorry,
So
I'm
you
sorry.
right. You need to build a solution for rich people. You need to build a solution where rich people choose to leave their cars back home and take this public transport solution instead, right? So that changes the dynamics and the contours of the solution entirely. Just like Kshitij and some of the others were saying, this means that you cannot route the metro only through the slums of Delhi where the poor people live. No, it has to go to Connaught Place and Saket and whatever, right? It has to go to all of these places where the rich people in Delhi live because that's the only way the traffic problem will get solved, right? So one of the best things about the Delhi metro is the density and uh, is the density of stations and the reachability. So you are never more than half a kilometer away from a metro station. And once you get into the metro system, you can navigate the whole thing and get pretty much wherever you like, right? So the reframing of the problem statement is who is the customer for the solution? It is the rich folks who drive a car to work. And what is the problem? They don't have a viable public transport alternative. For whatever reason, the buses are not punctual, they are too crowded, they are not clean, whatever, they don't want to take the buses. So provide those guys a viable public transport alternative so that they leave their cars back home. And that opens up a lot of dynamics when it comes to cleanliness, safety, technology, pricing. Let me just talk about pricing for a second, right? Say the rich person was spending 200 rupees per day on their commute, then even a 50 rupee ticket makes sense for them. It's much cheaper. They will take that solution. Whereas a poor person who's spending 20 rupees on the bus will not spend 50 rupees and to take the metro, right? But it's obviously better if you can charge a higher price. You'll be able to recover your capex faster and be able to put that money back in to build better and better solutions, right? So once the problem statement was framed like this and got the sign off, that is when the project execution actually began. And that is why today, even after 25 years, you still see Bhanu say, hey, this is the best metro system in the country, right? The other cities saw only what was visible. You need to put pillars and you need to put a track on top and run a metro. Will that be successful? No. Unless you think through the dynamics of whatever Dr. Sridharan did, figure out the routing, pricing, so on and so forth. Externally, it might seem that, hey, every city is building a metro, but the metros as a product will not be successful, right? So the revised problem statement was build a public transport system for the rich and hence run it through all of the places where the rich people live. And the rich should choose to leave their cars at home and use the metro instead. So this is an example of how defining clearly who is the customer and what is the problem for that customer is the thing that leads to a superior end product, right? I'll stop here since we're out of time and I can take any questions from anyone. But only for a couple of minutes though. I have another call to go to in a few minutes.
Yeah, Arun, sorry to interrupt, but I wanted to know what is your vision for a product manager role now? Because after we discussed, we have shown our visions, and what do you think a product manager actually does, and how it will be beneficial for us if we go ahead with that?
So a product manager's role is there currently is a lot of the glue role part of it, right? Which is essentially carrying messages from one department to another department. That will go away very soon, given the technological changes that are happening. What will be required is customer need identification. How do you figure out what exactly is to build? What is it that the customer needs, and hence what do I need to get built? How to build it will be solved very easily. Your engineers can do that. Enough AI and automation will do that. Then how do you test whether whatever you built actually solves the problem, whether the customers will use it and solves the problem for you, as in will it make money for you? This is where the thinking of the product manager will be focused.
Okay. So,
Right.
can you give me one example of a good product manager and a bad product manager? How I can relate that and which will change my vision? Because as per my vision, mostly, let me frame it, mostly the things will be done by the PMs, project managers, and that will be segregated and then collaborated into a sheet and which will be taken care by the product manager. So what will be the difference between the product manager and a project manager? Because I see both are related, but there are difference between them. So
The
what is
project
the
manager typically works on delivery. That is, they ensure things are shipped on budget, on schedule, on cost, and so on, right? The project manager does not verify whether this thing is useful.
okay?
The project manager's job is, hey, I assume this needs to be built. Somebody has verified that this needs to be built, and this is the right thing to be built. I will get it built correctly. I'll get it built ensuring there's no waste and no time or money lost and so on. The first part, which is, are we even building the right thing? It makes no sense building it without any waste if it's not the right thing to be built, as in the customers will never use it. That part will be the one that's solved by product managers.
Okay.
Right? I can just take one more minute. Sorry, as I said, I need to jump to another call.
Sure.
Okay. I'll wrap up. Thank you for participating in the exercises. I hope you enjoyed the example of the Delhi Metro.
Hello,
And
sir. One last doubt, sir.
yeah, go ahead.
Sir, how many such cases will we discuss in the program, sir? Because I am currently doing MBA in Amity University,
Mhm.
but literally not one such case study is discussed in my program.
I have
So,
no idea. I think some of the program coordinators who are on the call will actually be able to help you there. This is kind of an industry session to just give you a flavor
We
of
will
it.
connect separately, please. Thanks a lot, Arun sir. Thanks a lot.
Sure. Thank you so much, Mr. Guru. I will drop off. Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thanks. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Uh,
Thank you.